Hello everyone, my name is Ruturaj from Anasep Dange College of Engineering and Technology Asta, Department of Aeronautical Engineering. In this video, we will discuss on Earth atmosphere and the Kepler's law of planetary motion along with my colleague Pratik Suryavanshi under the guidance of Professor Subrishawaran sir. What is the Earth atmosphere? Earth atmosphere is a layer of gases surrounding the planet. The Earth is surrounded by a blanket of air, which we call the atmosphere. It reaches over 560 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. Atmosphere absorbs the energy from sun. It recycles water and other chemicals, protects us from the high energy radiation and the vacuum of the space. The atmosphere protects and supports life. The origin of Earth atmosphere. There are many still uncertainties and many conspiracy theories are there. Many scientists believe that about 4.5 billion years ago, Earth formed out of the nebula of gases that were become the solar system, and the small object called planetoids, or we can say the asteroids, accreted or combined together to build a larger object such as planets. These are some pictorial visualization of the how Earth and the Earth atmosphere is formed during the different stages of the evolution. Why is the Earth atmosphere is important? The Earth is different to other planets in our solar system because it has an atmosphere that can support life. The atmosphere is an envelope of different gases, which is air surrounding the Earth, and 80% of atmospheric gases are in the 50 kilometers closest to Earth. This is a very thin layer compared to the Earth diameter, which is about 12,756 kilometers. What is the Earth atmosphere made of? The gases that make up the atmosphere are present in the following amount: 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and the remaining 1% is mostly argon, 0.93%, with some carbon dioxide, 0.035%, varying amount of water vapor, and the trace amount of other gases. Pressure in the atmosphere. Atmospheric pressure is the force per unit area exerted by the weight of air above that surface in the atmosphere of Earth. The gas molecules closest to Earth's surface are packed together very closely. This means pressure is lower the higher up you go into the atmosphere. Pressure changes with altitude. Pressure varies smoothly from Earth's surface to the top of the pressure. The below figure shows the how air molecules are vary as we go from Earth's surface to the into the air, and how densities vary when we at sea level and we as go in high altitude. Now we will see the layers of atmosphere. Closest layer to the Earth's surface is troposphere. Second is stratosphere. Third is mesosphere. Fourth is thermosphere, and the last is exosphere. First is troposphere. Tropo means turning or changing. It is lower and thinnest layer, which is 60 km at equator and 8 km at poles, and it has the 90% of the atmosphere mass, and the temperature change rate 6 degree per kilometer. And top of the atmosphere, the average where the average temperature is minus 50 degrees Celsius. In this region, weather occurs. Boundary between the troposphere and the stratosphere is called as tropopause. Temperature goes from warm to cold as you increase in altitude. Second is stratosphere. Strato means layer or spread out. It extends from 10 km to 50 km above the ground. It is less dense, which means the less water vapor. Temperature increases with altitude. It almost no weather in this region. Almost no weather occurrences. Planes often fly in this region. It contains high level of ozone. Temperature goes up as you rise in altitude due to ozone absorbing the sun's heat. Upper boundary is called as stratopause. Third is mesosphere. Meso means middle, and it is the middle layer of the atmosphere. It starts from 50 km above sea level and extends to almost 80 km high. Gases are less dense in this region. Temperature decreases as altitude increases. Gases in this layer absorb very little amount of UV radiation. It protects Earth from the meteoroids. Fourth is thermosphere. Thermo means heat. Above the mesosphere and extends to almost 600 km high. Temperature increases with altitude increases. Temperature reaches up to 1800 degrees Celsius, which is equivalent to 3272 degrees Fahrenheit. It readily absorbs solar radiation. It reflects radio waves. This is how the Earth atmosphere is formed. The line which defines the atmosphere is very blurry. So we can't say this is the particular line which defines the atmosphere layer. And further explanation about the Kepler's law and planetary motion will be explained by the Pratik Suryavanshi.
Thank you, Ruturaj. Now we will see the planetary motion. This law describing the motion of a planet in a solar system. They were derived by the German astronomer Johannes Kepler and hence also known as a Kepler's law of planetary motion. The next point is the planetary motion and how it can be stated. All the planets move around the Sun in an elliptical orbit having the Sun as an foci. The radius vector joining any planet to the Sun sweeps out equal areas in equal length of a time. The square of the sidereal period, which is of revolution of a planet, is directly proportional to the cube of their mean distance from the Sun. Actually, all the 8 planets revolve in anti-clockwise direction in a view from a north pole of a Sun. Now we will see the Kepler's law. They are mainly divided into 3 parts. Kepler's first law, which is known as the law of orbit, the Kepler's second law, which is known as the law of area, and the Kepler's third law, which is known as the law of period. Kepler's first law states that the planet moves in an elliptical orbit around the Sun, with Sun at an foci of an elliptical orbit. In this figure we can see that the Sun is at an focus 1 and the planet is revolving in an elliptical orbit around the Sun. Each planet orbits around the Sun in an elliptical. The Sun's center is always located at an focus of an orbit elliptical. The planet follows an elliptical orbit, meaning the Sun distance is constantly changing as a planet goes around its Sun. Now we will see the Kepler's second law, which states that a planet moves an elliptical orbit so that a line between it and a Sun places at a focus sweeps out equal area in equal time. Basically, the planet do not move with constant speed around their orbit. Rather, the speed varies so that a line joining the center of a Sun and a planet sweeps out equal area of an area in equal time. The points of nearest approach of a planet to the Sun is termed as perihelion, and the point which is point of a greatest separation is known as apollon. Here the xy in a figure in an orbital path, the point xy which rotate the planet revolves in anti-clockwise direction, and the distance between the Sun and point xy is known as apollon, and the point AB and a Sun is termed as a perihelion. Hence, by the Kepler's second law, the planet is moving faster in perihelion and slower in apollon. Now we will see the Kepler's third law, which is known as the law of period. It states that a period of a planet is proportional to the 3/2 power of its semi-major axis. The period for a planet to orbit the Sun increases rapidly with the radius of its orbit. Thus, we can find the Mercury, the innermost planet, which takes near about 88 days of an orbit, and about Earth, we know that a particular period for Earth is 365 days, and that for Saturn is 10,759 days to do the same. Actually, t square is proportional to a cube, where t is the time to complete an orbit and a is the length of a semi-major axis, which is shown in a figure which is in horizontal direction, and b is given by b square is equal to a square into bracket 1 minus e square.
If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching.